Hello again YouTube, Jon Woon here from the Royal Astrologers. Just here to bring a simple message to you guys out there, especially catered to parents who are expecting their first child or couples who are trying for their first child. I hope this experience that I'm sharing with you can actually shed some light with you and have a connection for you and your spouse about your first child. Well, just to share with you the news, 2 weeks ago, my wife and I just had our first child. Her name is Cleo, and she's the light of our life. At the point before she was born, when she was still in the mummy's tummy, to be honest, we were very cocky now that I look back at it, because we were in control. We knew what would happen, we knew what had to be done, and we were rather relaxed about it. We had read books, we had seen documentaries, we had really done our research on what having a first child is all about. But, well, in the morning when my wife's water broke, let me tell you this, all panic set in, and even making a call to the hospital had me shivering. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm used to panic and all sorts of simultaneous combustion in my daily life, if you per se. Coming and growing up from this kind of livelihood. But when that happened, nervousness just broke in. The only thing I could focus on was that I had to be strong, because my wife is the one dealing with all the pressure and all the panic and all the pain. The entire labor took 12 hours, and it wasn't easy for her. It wasn't easy for me, but I'm not one to brag. I wasn't the one pushing the little one out. I was pretty strong at first. I thought I was doing pretty well. Even my mom-in-law said I'm doing actually quite well. But when it came to the final moments, what the midwives called as a transition, it's called the transition, and it's the most painful part. Each scream of my wife really almost broke me down in the delivery ward. To be honest with you all, I almost thought I would rather have a vasectomy upon seeing her screaming, because you are the one that, well, I'm the one that put her in that kind of pain, and that's not something I ever imagined. Again, let me paraphrase again that we thought we handled it pretty well until it was through the transition. Then it was in that final few moments at 6:28 where the final few pushes were up and about. I was holding on dearly to my wife, and she was to me. We were grabbing on hard, and you know, you're running on adrenaline. Many parents out there who have had their first little ones will actually be able to relate with me. Adrenaline set in, and to be honest, I had no idea what was going on. But when the little one came out and I saw her look at me, it really changed my life. Turned it around completely. Of course, my wife was so obviously relieved to have the pain and everything over with. So, well, being an astrologer, first things I did when all settled down was I opened up the chart and I reviewed my own chart. Now, taking into consideration the whole planning, the whole 9 months of planning that we actually went through with this baby, Rahu was actually in my 5th house. This showed a sudden involvement of a child in my life. And that was very true, because we were actually set to have it planned and go with a very strict format and formula of how our life was going to work out to suit what's best for the child. But as nature has its own ways, she came to us as a gift, as I always call it, because she is our little gift to the family. And also on that day, the moon was actually in my 6th house. Now, we all know the moon is actually in charge and lord of children, of women, of love related issues. And being in the 6th house of responsibility, this showed newfound responsibilities coming in the form of a baby, a child, who was a female, and of my wife, who was a lady as well, a woman, and all involving in the 6th house. Now, this being fallen into the sign of Capricorn is actually a house that was a house full of determination. Silent as it may be, it was full of determination, but the emotions were a different story, as y'all will learn staying on our channel long enough, that Capricornians are actually rather kept about their emotions. They would rather not share it out, and this was how it's always been, so forgive me if I'm a little stuttery or if I broke down during this take. Well, the point I'm really trying to get across is it's a wonderful experience. And though I said that I wanted a vasectomy on that spot itself, I would never trade in this experience again. And yeah, I will actually look forward to having a second one, if the missus permits, of course. But yes, for all you would-be parents out there, I wish you all the best and an early congratulations from us. From the Royal Astrologers. It's a wonderful experience and you're headed there already. With all that said and done, thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I'm Jon Woon from the Royal Astrologers. You'll have a pleasant day ahead. Cheers.